and will ask of you. I give one important example. We must stress personal hygiene, the importance of personal hygiene, doing something that is against our character, against human nature, against our nature of people and society, and to avoid shaking hands. And I tell you, just avoid shaking hands as I do. You can try to implement the Indian system of namaste, or say another word like shalom, but find the way, any way, to avoid shaking hands and other things that the health ministry is going to instruct you. The ministry is working in an extraordinary way. The most of our effort is in the health ministry, but all government ministries and also Magen David Adom are working extraordinarily, and we will continue to act the way we do every day, every hour, to do the best assessments in order to deal with this crisis and overcome it better than almost any other country. Thank you. Minister of Health, Yaakov Litzman. Shalom, everyone. I would like, before the General Secretary of the Ministry is going to speak, I would just like to reiterate a few things. Follow all the instructions of the Health Ministry. We will also publish those instructions also over the internet today and tomorrow. New publications in the media about what we demand and our next moves, for it to be very clear. It is apparently many people who returned from Italy did not specify on all the places they've been to, and so other people were damaged. We will not hesitate to do any move, even if it is not popular, when it comes to health. We are responsible for the health of the citizens. We will do everything, even if it means worsening the conditions, the instructions. We will also speak about public gatherings up to 5,000 people. Likewise, for attending conventions from around the world, conventions in which we do not have control over who came from where. And as the Prime Minister has said, I do not want to say a pandemic, but not far from that. This is a global problem. In some countries, they have yet to understand the severity of the situation. Over here at the Ministry of Health, we re-examine the situation twice a day, and will not hesitate to bring out more instructions as they are needed. The destiny we aim to reach is slowing down the rate of spreading of corona in Israel. Every day in which we are able to slow down the spreading of corona, therefore, it is important for all of us to work together. This is effective. The situation in Israel is still under control. We did not account for any situation of infection that did not come from a person who came from overseas or from an unknown source. We work as cautiously as possible. The moves we have implemented until now have proved themselves. The health of the public is the main thing on our minds. And the first priority is slowing down the outbreak in Israel. We prepare scenarios of rise in the number of infections and hope we will not reach that. In general, the public is showing we invest in explaining the situation to as much as we can, and we expect the public to be patient for this national effort. Hello. I will begin with a short overview of the situation. We have 15 patients in Israel. The good thing is that we know for each of these persons from where and when was he infected. That means we are under control. Some countries are not in these situations. They have infections that they don't know the source of. Our goal is to slow down the infections and maintain our ability to identify where these people were infected. Our message is one: be quick, and this is what we're trying to do. We do not hesitate. The second thing is reaching those infected people as soon as possible, and this is what we do. We do 4 times more examinations than are conducted in the United States. We want to reach those people very quickly and isolate them. We do this in order to slow down the potential of infections. This is the only way to reduce the number of patients. This is why we do this. This is why we order quarantines. It looks like a burden on the public, but this is better than the alternative. We see that countries that do not follow these measures reach situations of much harsher measures, like closing schools and universities. In Japan, they're speaking about canceling the Olympics, and other countries are doing very harsh measures. We prefer to do those harsh, slightly less harsh measures in order to avoid harsher measures in the future. And therefore, we announced the extension of isolation for other countries, preventing people from attending conferences. We will not allow employees of the Health Ministry to go overseas and take part in these conventions, and we will not allow public gatherings of over 5,000 people. And we will implement other measures as much as they will needed in order to ensure our control over this outbreak. I would like to thank a few people for their help. Dr. Vered Ezra, and I would also like to thank MADA, helping our potential of preventing people who are infected to infect other people. Many crews in the hospitals are working very diligently in order to give the best response possible. I understand the financial effects of these measures. There is no choice between public health and finance. If we don't follow these measures, the financial damage will be much more severe. We work now to enhance the hospitals, both in terms of infrastructures and in terms of the employees, so that we could look back and say that Israel dealt with this crisis better than other countries. Thank you very much.
Litzman.
Hello and thanks for joining us for this breaking news edition as the spread of coronavirus continues across the globe.